give you a couple of numbers here, everybody, as we're on the eve of this enormous Georgia-Texas game. And I think sometimes we make it too simple and sometimes we do overthink it. I have a hard time when it's Sark and Kirby and it's played in Athens and the stakes are what they are, that I'm going to find a way that Sark's team comes out with a win. Just based on history. Doesn't mean it has to happen. There's always a first when you're not expecting something. But let me give you the records again. Kirby Smart against top 10 teams when they're playing in Athens, 8-0. Those are elite opponents. Kirby's 8-0, and his teams have covered 7 of the 8 games, meaning they were a favorite in every one and covered all 7 of the 8 spreads. Sark at Texas is 2-11 against top 10 teams. 8 of those losses were by 7 points or more. That doesn't tell an entire tale, but it is pretty interesting and revealing that when you're playing the best of the best, that's when Texas has not had any success and Georgia's had all their success.
They walked into Tuscaloosa and just burned that place down a few years ago, Quinn Ewers. They had the season opening dub last year, wasn't it, or maybe week 2 at Michigan, and we didn't understand exactly what that meant. But you're right. That's a revealing take that I have the better team. Kind of, you may stumble over Kirby. You're not likely to stumble over Sark. Like, oh, my God, what happened to our season? Like, that's not going to happen over there because Sark, if I've got the better talent and I have an opponent that is like or less, then I'll beat them. If it's somebody like or better, I probably won't.
So Sark, if they lose tomorrow night to Georgia, will be 0-5 in the last 13 months against Georgia and Ohio State. And you think, well, yeah, it's Georgia and Ohio State. Sark was brought to Texas to win those games. I mean, this is Texas. By God, Texas. This is Steve Sarkisian, who comes in with an NFL background, with a USC background. He's got some history behind him. He was brought in to do more than he's doing at Texas right now. Let me give you some numbers. He's 45-19 in 5 years. Nothing wrong with that record, but that's not what you're brought to Texas to do. They got rid of Tom Herman because those kind of numbers weren't good enough. Tom Herman, the 5 previous years, 37-25. So yes, Sark has gotten better. This isn't I'm castigating Sark. He's a fine coach. They didn't hire a fine coach. They hired Sark to take that program to an elite Georgia type level. And as of yet, it hasn't gotten there. It's tried. It's peaked up on it. It hasn't gotten there.
Could have beaten Ohio State last year. I'm not going to drill down because this is not a one-game thing that you're talking about, but they had a weird play call as well.
Like who's in charge of that?
Sark. They kind of out-thought things down near the goal line, and I think actually he kind of wilted. He was like, they're stronger than us. We'll do something weird. So that was a one-game thing, and I kind of put it at him. But everything, there's not a coach on that staff. There's not a player on that roster. There's not anybody working in that building that's not there without Steve Sarkisian's approval. And here's the other thing. They have bought and paid for all of it.
And they can.
So absolutely. Sure. And they don't mind doing it, but give me my payoff. Like, here is a specific list of things I need. Here you go. Mm-hmm. Last year, that's not a failure last year. Was not a failure at all because, I don't know, you lost to Ohio State in the final minute. It happens. And plus Travion. I mean, my God. But this year, this will be a failure because I think they lose tomorrow. I think it's a rock fight, and I think it's close. I think it's like 24-ish, 20-ish. But I think they lose to Texas A&M at home as well.
A 4-loss season? Ooh. How do you explain that one away?
You can't.
So in his first 5 seasons, I told you Sark is 45-19. Give you a little comparison. Kirby, 56-13. I also, just to be honest, I took out 2020. I never know what to do with 2020. It was such a weird year. What Sark was brought in to do at Texas is what Kirby was brought in to do at Georgia. And here's the thing. Texas reminds me of Georgia pre-Kirby. Like, they ask the same questions that we used to ask around here or talk about here every year. Why can't we?
This is really good, but...
Yeah, why can't we be them? Why is Tennessee winning a title? Why is Florida winning titles? Why is Alabama dominating? Why is Auburn getting a championship? Everyone. It's what Georgia fans would ask from about 1984 through about 2016. And then Kirby came in, and he's like, year 2, we're going to play for the title. Should have won it. And then by the time we get to 2021, we're going to take over the sport. Texas has everything Georgia has. Probably have more than what Georgia has. So Sark is fine. This is not a shot at Sark. Tomorrow night, these are games where if you ever want to break through, you got to go there and win. You got to go into Athens. Arch plays the kind of game that people hyped him up to play, and you win the game. I'm with you. I don't think it happens, but this is what separates you from breaking into the elite.
This is from what year did Georgia and Louisville play in the bowl game? Hudson went blind, had to be taken out, I think.
He lost his sight?
Yeah, he went blind. We got a little UB. I can't say. After that season, when the blue chip ratio came out, there were like 12 schools on it. And I remember sitting down with BA at Media Days. And we were going through there, and it was Florida State, Auburn, Michigan, Miami.
It's Brandon Adams.
Former
employee of ours, yeah.
Ohio State, all of these. We went down. Auburn was on there, all of them. We went down and said, national title, 2 national titles, national title, Belk Bowl. Because Georgia had played in the Belk Bowl. They were the only team in the blue chip ratio that year that hadn't either won or played for a national title or two. And they had Belk Bowl. And I was like, that's stark. That's not what Georgia is anymore. Bunch of players going to the NFL, and then they win 9 or 10 games, which is really good in the SEC, especially to do it for a decade and a half. Kirby made him great. That's what he was brought in to do, and he's done it.
We'll see if Sark can take advantage of that opportunity.